Hi, love, it's Ira here. Spirit has such a gentle but powerful message for you today, and I can already feel the energy stirring in your field as I begin. This reading is about the wound you're finally healing, the place in your soul that has carried weight for too long but is now softening, shifting, and releasing so you can move forward with clarity and power. Before I pull the cards, I want to remind you that if you'd like a personal session with me, my readings start at just $9. And you can also join my monthly membership for $99 to receive unlimited guidance and deeper support on your journey. And for those who've never had a session with me before, I do offer one free reading. Simply email me to claim it. This way, you can experience for yourself how Spirit works with you through these messages. The first card here is the Ten of Wands. This shows me that the wound you've been carrying has everything to do with over-responsibility, with holding far more than your share, and with believing that if you let go, things would fall apart. You've carried the burdens of others, whether it's family, work, or relationships, and you've been the one to pick up what others dropped. The wound here is a deep-seated belief that you must always be strong and capable, even when your own energy is depleted. For so long, this created cycles where you gave more than you received, leaving you feeling invisible, unappreciated, and exhausted. The Ten of Wands highlights how this wound has made you feel that your worth comes from effort rather than from simply being. The deeper truth of this card is that the wound is now dissolving because you're beginning to recognize the cost of carrying what isn't yours. Spirit shows me you're starting to put things down, whether that's saying no, refusing to overextend yourself, or simply acknowledging your own needs first. What's healing here is the pattern of self-sacrifice without boundaries. For the first time, you are truly understanding that your energy is precious, that you are not here to be a constant fixer, and that your worth doesn't depend on how much weight you can carry for others. This is a powerful turning point because it shifts you from survival into authentic living. This healing will ripple into every area of your life. You'll notice people respond differently because your energy is no longer one of overgiving, but of balance. Some may resist, but those who truly value you will adjust and respect your boundaries. Work, relationships, and even family dynamics will begin to feel lighter. Spirit is confirming that this wound of over-responsibility is closing because you're stepping into the truth. Your power isn't in carrying everyone else's load, it's in carrying your own with grace. The lesson is integration, not exhaustion. The closing of this cycle allows you to finally walk with freedom rather than weight. The second card is the Three of Swords. This reveals that the wound also sits in your heart space, connected to betrayal, heartbreak, or moments when people you trusted didn't show up for you. The pain here has cut deeply, leaving you with a scar that sometimes makes it difficult to fully open to others. The wound isn't just about one heartbreak, but rather the accumulation of disappointments and losses that made you feel like your heart had to guard itself. For a long time, you may have believed that if you love fully, you'll inevitably be hurt. This wound has caused cycles of mistrust, emotional walls, and second-guessing the intentions of those closest to you. Spirit shows me that what's healing now is the rawness of that heartbreak. The energy is softening, and where there was once sharp pain, there is now understanding. You're seeing that heartbreak was never meant to define your worth. It was meant to show you what you truly deserve. The wound of betrayal is being transmuted into discernment, teaching you to recognize genuine love and alignment rather than clinging to situations where you weren't valued. This healing isn't about forgetting the past, but about no longer carrying it as proof that love leads to pain. Instead, it becomes proof that you are strong enough to heal and open again. The Three of Swords here also tells me that Spirit is bringing people into your life who are capable of honoring your heart with tenderness. As you heal, your energy shifts to attract those who are emotionally mature, honest, and consistent. This wound's release allows you to experience love in a new way, not as something you have to guard against, but as something that supports your growth. For the first time in a long time, you're learning that being vulnerable doesn't mean being unsafe. It means allowing yourself to be fully human, fully loved, and fully connected. This card affirms that in the next cycle of your journey, the scar of heartbreak becomes a source of wisdom rather than pain. You'll know what you deserve, and you won't accept less. This healing invites you to experience relationships where your heart isn't just tolerated, but celebrated. Spirit says the wound of betrayal is finally closing, and what remains is clarity, strength, and the capacity to love with freedom instead of fear. The third card is the Hermit. This shows me that part of your wound has been loneliness, isolation, or the sense that you've had to face everything alone. For so long, you've been on this path of deep inner searching, and while that has made you wise, it has also left you feeling disconnected at times. The wound here is the belief that no one truly understands you, that your inner world is too complex, or that your spiritual path has distanced you from those around you. This has been a subtle ache, not always visible, but always felt in those quiet moments. What's healing here is the way you now hold solitude. The Hermit tells me you are moving from loneliness into empowered solitude, where being with yourself no longer feels like abandonment, but like alignment. The wound of isolation is dissolving because you're beginning to see your inner journey not as something that separates you from others, but as something that strengthens your capacity to connect. Instead of being hidden, your wisdom is now ready to be shared. Spirit says this healing allows you to come out of the cave and bring your light into the world. The Hermit also speaks to how you're learning that connection doesn't mean losing yourself. You don't have to sacrifice your inner world to be understood. The right people will meet you where you are. This healing shifts your energy so that you attract those who not only accept your depth, but are inspired by it. The wound of feeling unseen begins to close, and in its place, a new sense of belonging takes root. Your wisdom is not a burden. It is a gift that others are waiting to receive. Spirit wants you to know that as this wound heals, your role transforms. You are no longer the one wandering in the dark trying to find your place. You are becoming the one who lights the path for others. What once felt like loneliness is now revealed as preparation, and the wound of isolation is finally transmuted into the medicine of leadership, wisdom, and illumination. The fourth card is the Five of Pentacles. This shows me that another deep wound you've carried has been tied to lack, financial struggle, rejection, or being left out in the cold. The pain here is the sense of not having enough, not being supported, or not being chosen. This wound may have come from times when resources felt scarce, or when you had to survive with less than you needed, both materially and emotionally. The fear of loss and instability has left marks on your soul, creating cycles of worry about safety and security. But what's healing here is your relationship with abundance and support. Spirit is showing me that the old narrative of being left out or unsupported is breaking. You're beginning to see that you are never truly alone, even in moments when it seemed like no one was there. Spirit was guiding you, preparing you, and planting seeds that are now ready to grow. The wound of lack is healing into the awareness of provision. You're learning that abundance isn't just about material wealth, but about knowing you are held, guided, and deeply supported. The Five of Pentacles here tells me you're entering a cycle where help is arriving, whether through opportunities, relationships, or resources. This wound's healing means you'll no longer approach life from fear of not having enough, but from trust that what you need will come in divine timing. This is the shift from scarcity to sufficiency, from struggle to flow. Spirit is bringing in blessings that directly counter the places where you once felt abandoned. This healing allows you to create stability in a new way. Instead of repeating cycles of financial or emotional struggle, you're stepping into security. The wound of lack is finally dissolving, and you are being aligned with abundance, connection, and support. Spirit says the door that once felt closed is now opening, and what you once thought was denied is now being offered. The fifth card is the Star. This is the most beautiful confirmation of your healing journey. The star shows me that after everything you've endured, hope is being restored. The wound of despair, the moments when you wondered if things would ever get better, is now closing. Spirit is reminding you that healing isn't just about removing pain, it's about reclaiming light, joy, and faith. The star reveals that your heart is opening again, your spirit is realigning, and your path forward is filled with renewal. The wound of hopelessness is being healed by clarity and guidance. Spirit shows me that the star is pouring healing directly into your life, washing away the heaviness and bringing in peace. Where there was once fear, there will now be trust. Where there was despair, there will now be inspiration. This card confirms that you are moving into a cycle of grace, ease, and restoration. You are being reminded that the universe always conspires for your healing, even when it feels like you've been in the dark for too long. The star also speaks to your purpose. The wounds you've carried are not wasted. They are being transmuted into wisdom that allows you to guide and inspire others. Spirit is saying your story of healing becomes the light for someone else who feels lost. This is not just about your healing, but about the collective healing you are a part of. You are stepping into alignment with your soul's higher calling, one that shines brightly and cannot be dimmed by the past. This final card affirms that the wound you're finally healing is not just one. It is many layers, many experiences, now dissolving into clarity and peace. The Ten of Wands, Three of Swords, Hermit, Five of Pentacles, and Star together weave the story of burdens released, heartbreak transmuted, loneliness transformed, scarcity healed, and hope restored. Spirit says you are stepping into wholeness. The wound is no longer defining you. The healing is. Your affirmation for this reading is, I release the wounds of the past and open fully to the light of healing. I am whole, I am supported, and I am free.